Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Saieed Ali, a spiritual consultant and real estate businessman. Remember, for those of you that are having spiritual problems, you can feel free to contact me. Those of you who see shadows in the house, you're hearing voices, you're hearing tapping, you're hearing things walking in your house, feel free to contact me. Now, those of you who have properties to sell or looking for property to buy, you can also contact me. And if you lend your friend and your family your hard-earned cash and you cannot get it back, somebody calling you your money, once you have an agreement with them, you have documents that they sign, feel free to contact Real Talk, Debt Collection Department, and we will be glad to assist you. So I want to say a special good night to you viewers of Real Talk in Trinidad and Tobago, of the Caribbean and around the globe. Those of you that are on our page, Real Talk with Saieed Ali page, like and share as we go live. Those of you on YouTube, share our live stream. For those of you who do not know of the show, the ones that are looking on, feel free to tell your friends and your family about the #1 current affairs program in Trinidad and Tobago, where we bring the issues to you. So viewers, our studio lines are 238-6716. Feel free to call in, drop your concerns, let us know what is taking place in your area. Like I said, this is election time. Feel free to call in. Let us know who's the candidate for your area, the past, the present candidate. What have they done for your area thus far or in the last 5 years? Let us know. It is election time. Do they deserve their second term in office, or are you looking to put somebody new? So feel free to call in, viewers. It's election time. Campaign all over Trinidad and Tobago. The Minister of Health talking about social distancing in campaign. But nobody's taking heed to social distancing in campaign. But you want to give the barman problems. But nevertheless, we still with the barman. The Bar Association, they got from 8 to 10 p.m. and that's quite good enough. So as we start off tonight, the United National Congress has raised concerns with the declaration made by the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, that he was aware of corruption at the Estate Management and Business Development Company, that is the EMBD. Dr. Rowley was speaking at a campaign meet-up in Tobago on Sunday night, where he quoted a newspaper report titled, "Arrest Coming Soon in 549 million EMBD case." Before jumping to the allegations of misappropriations of state funds detailed within the article, Dr. Rowley said he was well aware of the white-collar crime that had occurred at EMBD for some time. So let me just step back a minute here. Dr. Rowley is saying that he is aware of the corruption in EMBD for some time, but did nothing. For some time. Did he make a report of corruption? But listen to this. He also said he did not make it public, lest he be accused of using it as an election gimmick. So if you know of a corruption that is taking place, a white-collar crime that is taking place in a construction company, or, as I say, the EMBD company, why didn't you come forward? Why didn't you come forward? He also said he did not make it public lest he be accused of using it as an election gimmick. So why now? Why now? I'm just asking you, why now? In a statement on Monday, the opposition slammed the Prime Minister for his comments. Furthermore, the party likened the allegations to Emailgate scandal, which was closed. Imagine, you are telling us you knew of it, but you did not come forward. And we want to fix white-collar crime in Trinidad and Tobago when those in authority knows about it. This is according to him. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Ali.
Go right ahead, sir.
Yeah, well, they would desperately go try other avenues to get votes, like arresting people and using the police commissioner to do a lot of arrests that will be dismissed later on, because no back pay in Trinidad and Tobago ain't get, and none of those people will not be voting for Rowley. Anything else in Trinidad and Tobago, anything could come, anybody could go up, but not this Rowley-led TNM. He done and he must go. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. So listen to this now. The statement ended with the opposition reminding of its plan for Trinidad and Tobago that were announced by Kamala Prasad Bisesa since October 2019. This includes intention to create 50,000 new jobs and lower tax. Now, this is what the opposition leader Kamala Prasad Bisesa is telling the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, that if we are elected into office come August the 10th, 2020, our goals, one of our main goals, is to create 50,000 jobs and lower tax. So viewers, we have an interview tonight with Khadija Amin. Good night, Miss Amin.
Good night.
How are you?
I am excellent.
Now, I do thank you for taking the time out to join us on Real Talk, just to enlighten the viewers a little bit. So, you are going for St. Augustine, right?
Yes, correct.
Now, could you tell us, the viewers, why St. Augustine?
I was born in Kiev. I was born in McInroy Street, Kiev. My family has the fourth generation in Kiev. I was a counselor for St. Augustine South for about 10 years. Unfortunately, settled up those years in a position. And even when the partnership arrangement sent the district that I represented to the COP, and I did not contact on that district, I remain an active part of St. Augustine. So St. Augustine is home to me.
Okay.
And I'm familiar with the issues and needs. So for that reason, I offered myself to serve St. Augustine.
Okay, now we have 4 questions for you that I would love to share with the public, and I would like to hear what your views on it. What are some of the things you hope to accomplish once elected for St. Augustine?
Well, I can tell you that it is the first thing that we want to do is to get St. Augustine working again. In terms of the needs of the constituency, flooding seems to be the number one issue that is most prevalent. In St. Augustine South, in Bamboo, in Orokun, in Kiev, we have been plagued by flooding. It has got significantly worse since the US became of government, and many of those working forces have been neglected. We had done some work when we were in government to reduce the flooding. In fact, some areas had stopped that it was a strange thing to not get flood.
Okay.
Now, though, that is not some priority. Another major issue is land tenure. In Bamboo, many years ago, those people were supposed to get documents to their land from NHA. It later went to LSA and they followed the land regularization, and some got documents and some did not. That has to be resolved. The agricultural land that will now have well-established commercial activity with the car park space and so on, that has to be regularized so that those people can get appropriate leases. And St. Augustine South, that area by the school known as Paje and Paje Extension, that was managed by the Saga Estate. And when the estate passed, the state was to pay rent. The state and they never got their proper documentation. And so you have third generation people living on that land without documents. St. Augustine is also, well, for those who don't know, St. Augustine is the patron saint of education. And in St. Augustine, you have over 40 education facilities, two education facilities, Christian secondary. And it is a hub for a nation for education. When we were in government, we had formed the St. Augustine Education City Committee. That was a cabinet appointed committee to develop St. Augustine as an education hub. And that included some traffic arrangements around the schools, public transportation, park and ride, the environmentally friendly solar lighting, bicycle lanes to reduce traffic, and of course the economic aspect in terms of the university and the research coming out of the tertiary education institutions shall be incubated so that you will have commercial activities that will bring economic stimulation to the country. So St. Augustine has a cross-section in terms of the agriculture as well as in terms of the national development.
Okay. Now it seems that you have it all planned out. So my other question is that you are going up against 3 other candidates, right? Are you intimidated in any way, or are you worried about winning or losing with these other individuals? Are you intimidated in any way?
No, I have indicated very early that being a candidate in this race will be about developing St. Augustine, our plan for St. Augustine, and our plan for Trinidad and Tobago. I will not get into any petty egos and mudslinging or anything like that. I know that is expected on the campaign trail.
Yes.
But I do wish all the other competitors, I do wish them an enjoyable campaign. I also tell people who are campaigning with me, there is no need to attack or badmouth anyone, because when I come back to I have a duty to represent every person in the constituency, whether they vote for me or not. So I have an obligation to carry out a clean campaign, because I expect to be victorious at the end of it.
And my final question to you, Ms. Amin. You served as a senator for the opposition. What were some of the other more significant bills you were happy to contribute to?
Listen, in the 5 years, I took on almost every bill that came to Parliament. There were a couple, there were just a very few that I did not speak on. When we done a number of controversial pieces of legislation, the SSA bill that gives government the authority to spy on all of us, that was something very controversial and still remains controversial today. Crime fighting legislation on a whole is something where whenever I try to insert the concern for the small man, the disadvantaged. And I always preach about using softer measures in addition to the hard measures. Please do not wait for our children to fall through the cracks because of lack of opportunities and lack of education. To pounce on them with the hard side of the law and the police and the punishment and the jail service. Let us provide opportunities. Let us provide nurturing. Let us provide mentoring for these young people so that they will not fall into a life of crime, and that therefore will not have to condemn them in our very slow and separate.
And our final question: what is your message to the electorate of St. Augustine?
has been waiting for a candidate from the United National Congress because many of the supporters in St. Augustine are UNC. St. Augustine, under my structure, will be a model constituency, and for that to happen, I need to work with everyone. So I want to ask that all our stakeholders, all our residents, to work with me as your member of parliament so that we can have better networking, better services, better communication within St. Augustine constituency. St. Augustine is an important part of the Eastern Corridor as an education hub, as an agriculture, as a place where agriculture comes from, and as a place that has so much to offer. We have a duty to keep ourselves well connected so that we can be of service to Trinidad and Tobago.
Ms. Amin, I want to thank you for taking the time out to chat with us here on Real Talk and to enlighten the population of Trinidad and Tobago your plans for St. Augustine. From Real Talk Studios to you, Ms. Amin, best of luck to you in the upcoming general election.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Not a problem there. We hope to have you sometime before election again, or any one of your party members. So thank you again, Ms. Amin. So viewers, that was Khatija Amin, UNC candidate. You know, from now to election, we are trying to get candidates from both sides of the fence, the left and the right, the UNC, the PNM, the PDP, the PEP. You know, we want to interact with them so at least you, the public, would understand what is their plan for Trinidad and Tobago. So as we move on tonight, viewers, political leader of the Progressive Democratic Patriots, Watson Duke, has once again denied accusation that he is an agent for the United National Congress and that he is secretly working to capture the Tobago East seat and unite against the PNM in the August 10th general election. The claims were made by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley at a political meeting on Sunday. According to Duke, Dr. Rowley has gotten it all wrong once again. Since Duke's focus is on becoming more than a member of Parliament, Duke said if he wins the Tobago East and West seat, he is open for a coalition with any of the major parties, but he will only do so if he is made Prime Minister. The man has a vision and he has a plan. I cannot deny that of him. He has a vision to win the East and the West. And his plan from that vision is also to become the Prime Minister. You can't give the man wrong, he has a vision. I would not give him wrong for that. So viewers, feel free to call in 238-6716. Let me hear what you have to say. Dr. Rowley said his information on Duke affiliation with the United National Congress came from an internal UNC source. Duke said Rowley should be worried about his own party ability to get enough seats to make him Prime Minister instead of worrying about who is going against who. So it's election time, the bacchanal heating up. Rowley is accusing Watson Duke of being an insider for the UNC in Tobago. But Duke said, no, 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 no. He wants to form a coalition if the East and the West is won by him. So, I want to hear your views on that. Remember when there was, I think 33, and A.N.R. Robinson had to give his vote? How many of you remember that? How many of you? Caller, good night.
Very good evening to you, Mr. Saeed.
To you, my friend.
Saeed, I know the topic is politics, but I was watching the national news this evening, and right now I am heartbroken, I am upset, I'm very, very angry.
Talk to me.
Saeed, you know, a 54-year-old man raped his 14-year-old daughter.
Yes.
Murdered his 14-year-old daughter. And the prosecutor pleaded with the magistrate not to grant him bail. You know the magistrate granted him $300 bail?
Yep.
Saeed, you don't think the magistrate and the lawyer should go to jail instead?
It's sad, you know.
Saeed, this is madness. What have we become? Your own daughter? All the best, Saeed.
Thank you, my friend. So as you touch, as you start off on that caller, let me finish it. A 48-year-old laborer was charged with raping and sexually touching his teenage daughter over a period of 4 years. The girl was 14 years of age when it first started happening. Charges of burglary and incest on dates unknown between August 1st, 2019 and April 13, 2020 were also read to him. Sergeant Saieed Mohammed objected to bail as he cited the seriousness of the offense. Princestown Magistrate Ms. Gosain placed the laborer on $300,000 bail. He was also to place under conditions that he stayed 300 meters away from the victim. The matter was adjourned to August 17th. Paula, good night.
Good night.
Yes?
You're only sleeping with the devil. There's no use talking about him.
Thank you, caller. Just imagine a father interfering with his girl child at the age of 14. At the age of 14. And he is out on $300,000 bail. Why didn't the magistrate keep him in custody for at least 120 days so the officers could do a proper background check on the individual? Because this crime is a serious crime. This is a serious crime against humanity. Rape is a serious crime against humanity. Now you all wonder, this will give you a little more insight of why I am raising $10 million to build a rape crisis center in Trinidad. When we have monsters like that committing an act against their daughter, your own daughter, your flesh and blood that you're mine. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr.
Go right ahead.
Ali. God bless you. You're doing a good job. You keep up the good work. And God bless your family. I called to tell you and find out about Mr. Duke. We don't find to get on Mr. Rowley, which is a madman and a liar. What we going and put there now? An imbecile?
Thank you, caller. Thank you, caller. Now you understand why we want to build this center. Now you understand why. And I'm going to tell you something. There are many cases where parents are interfering with their children and they refuse to change their ways. It's like they're born into it. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Said.
Go right ahead.
Said, we're talking about all this situation about abuse and sexual situations where people abuse children and all kind of things. Now, just imagine your first priority of securing your children's lifestyle is that trusting when you leave and you send your child to school, you as a parent put all the trust in the teachers to make sure that your child is educated and
Yes.
How would you feel to know that you send your child to a school and the test that you have to give your child is a pregnancy test? That the test that you give your child when your child come home is that she tests positive instead of positive act in becoming a positive student, a positive English student, instead of being positive as a pregnant child. And the whole situation about positive as a child now is that your teacher is the man now who make you become pregnant.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying. Caller, are you referring to something that happened recently?
Sai, let me tell you something. I have 2 daughters. When I leave home and I send my children to school, I just put the trust in the school and the teachers to make sure that, they groom my children and make them into something that they could deal with the situation and the country that we have to deal with to become a better human being.
Yes.
Because their mind is young, vulnerable, and they could easily be taken advantage of. In all countries in the world, psychology is a big part of the education system because it is make sure and teachers, these are vulnerable young minds that we have to make sure and groom them to let them understand that the kind of things they have to deal with in the real world. And when a teacher takes advantage of a student, that come like you and your child a place and your uncle or some kind of thing interfere with your daughter or some kind of thing.
Correct.
And every real country in the world, when situations like this happen, the country don't make jokes. There's the full brunt of the law with relationships like this when teachers interfere with children. A fox sit down in front of a chicken coop and only watching every chicken with its tongue hang out long. And then this is what we have as a prime minister in this country.
Thank you, caller. And the caller is talking with sense, Because I dealt with a rape matter, not too long ago. The individuals came by me. They explained to me, Saeed, X, Y, and Z, so and so and so and so took place. I spoke to the mom, I spoke to the daughter. I sent them to one of my good colleagues in the San Fernando station, where they take their report. They carry them by the child protection, they did tests, everything they did. And this child was going to a school right here in Trinidad. She was 14 years of age, and she was raped by the teacher of that school. Just imagine that. How many of you parents, mothers or fathers or guardian, how do you deal with things like this? Caller, good night.
Good night, Said.
Go right ahead.
Yes, Said. All them rape and interfere with children. All them they could stop in Trinidad. All you have to do is screen for the spin.
Yes,
Fernando.
I want to agree with you.
They have 10 toes and they have 10 fingernails. You tie them up and every day you pull out one fingernail and toenail. And pull out that for 20 days. Then you start to chop out all the toe them go.
Thank you, caller. That is corporal punishment. You see, an example needs to be set. The rape is a serious thing. Just imagine this father in the 50s. You started to interfere with your daughter when she was 14. What kind of father are you? Or in some other cases, what type of monster are you? And this is what I always say. There are so many hardback women in society. Go out and get something. There are so many brothels in Trinidad where you could actually go in and pay for a fling now. Go and pay. But you choose to interfere with your 14 years old daughter. And on top of it now, the magistrate come and grant you bail, boy. Hey, boy. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Ali.
Go right ahead, sir.
I wanted to highlight something off the point. Look at what's going on in this country with accountability for our money, our hard-earned taxpayers' money that paying these ministries. Look at EMBD and life sports and all this investigation. Where is the accountability? You are an accountant. Where is all our money going? Is it going in the pocket of these contractors and ministers?
I understand what you're saying.
Put everybody before the court who need to be before the court.
Thank you, caller. And I agree with you. So listen this. A Gasparilla man has appeared in court after he was charged with issuing fraudulent checks. Remember on last night we were talking about fraudulent checks? He is Mr. Ramlal of Bonaventure Road in Gasparilla. Ramlal appeared before Magistrate Christine Charles at the Couva Magistrate Court. He was granted $35,000 bail with surety, and the matter was adjourned to April 13th, 2021. According to a police statement, the owner of an import-export service reported that during the period 28 August 2018 and 12 September 2018, she received an order over the telephone for Christmas trees valued at $165,930. The victim allegedly received the order from a company and payment was made. Payment was made on 2 separate occasions via check from 2 separate financial institutes. After the check was deposited by the victim, her banker revealed that the check was fraudulent. It was also determined that the name of the person and company were fictitious. A police investigation revealed that Ramlal was the alleged person behind the fake company and name. So he's a real con man. A real con man. He allegedly sold a quantity of item to a furnishing company in Balmain, Couva, and a quantity of and a quantity was stored at a warehouse in Gasparillo. Ramlal was charged for 2 counts of receiving stolen items amounting to $7,920. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Saeed.
Go right ahead, sir.
First time caller.
Welcome to Real Talk. Where are you calling from?
Shagonas.
Shogunas. Okay, go right ahead.
Right. Well, I have some information for you and the public and all the listeners. Okay?
Repeat what you said.
I have some information for you and the public and all your listeners. When a girl child wants to get away from home, they make a lot of excuses. I know of 3 people. One, she was 17 years old. She father have seen in where she living and she needs to get away. So after now, she do that for spite because she fed up as she father. Today, she all over the Caribbean and Trinidad, since 50 degrees lockdown, she ain't going nowhere. But she coming down with a pull by the head. You could imagine that? And next one, mother and father break up the child, the daughter gone down to Shagonas, put a ring in her tongue. When she come back by the father hits the 2 lads. She run up the road and tell the mother tells she will go and tell the police they try to hold you down. Today she's 18 years and she don't have 2 children already. So when these girls want to get out of your hand, they are the whole thing to say.
I understand.
You understand what I'm saying? You have to look at the story. Both died. The magistrate has to give the man bail because she's not positive on what these people are saying. That is why she has to give him bail. She's not God. When children want to get away from the house, they have the whole thing to say. The caller just now, he depends on the teacher grooming children. The teacher and he can groom their own children. Nowadays in school, when you talk to the children, they vex more than you. They want to link it up with the children. We know that. So you can't depend on the school to guide your children. You have to guide them from home. Thank you. Have a good night. I'll listen off, man.
Thank you, caller. Now, viewers, this do happen. For those of you who do not know, these incidents do happen. Young girls, young men, when they want to escape the parents, they come up with some ridiculous ideas sometimes. You see, this is why I like to interact with individuals from Trinidad and Tobago via our show, because it gives us an insight of what is taking place in society today. A real insight, incidents that one may go through, and they share it on our program. Caller, good night.
Good night. How are you doing?
I'm okay, go right ahead. You're live on Real Talk.
Yeah, I call you and something is bothering on this body. Not controlling all the borders. Why all
Caller, we do apologize for cutting you, but we are not hearing you clearly in studio. So we do apologize for that. So listen to this, viewers. 23 police officers attached to several units have been awarded for their outstanding performance in solving 7 homicides within a short time frame. Deputy Commissioner of Police of Intelligence and Investigation, McDonald Jacob, in his address to award and commend these officers in solving these 7 homicides. So I would like to say hats off to the officers and them. The 23 officers, hats off to you, and may you continue doing the good job that you do in Trinidad and Tobago. We know it's rough with the TTPS and the citizens concerning gang violence, murder, robbery, kidnapping, rape. We know it's tough. We know that. But, you know, we urge you to continue doing the hard work that you're doing, and do not let one apple spoil the basket. I am telling you that. So we want to thank the 23 officers from the several units for doing a wonderful job. Officers, good luck to you in your endeavors. Caller, good night. A sad thing is to hear somebody get raped, you know. Serious, you know. It's a sad thing, you know. It's a really, really sad thing, you know. How do you deal with it? How do you deal with it? How do the victims go forward? How do the parents go forward? How does the family actually go forward when society is looking down at you? How do you overcome the stigma that have been placed upon you by some foolish clown who decide to commit an act? How do you go forward? How do you deal with it? How do you rise every morning? Could somebody share a thought with us? Some victim, some family. Could you share a thought with us? How do you overcome it? How do you get up every morning? How do you face each day? Caller, good night.
Hello?
Yes, go right ahead. You're live on Real Talk.
The station where you're on there, that is a good talk the man was saying just now, you know, because children now, they don't want no correction, and then after too.
True.
Child Protective Service protecting the children from parents, correcting them. Right? So that is why it will be so in society now. Because charity begins at home. You're supposed to see about your children.
True, true.
Correct your children while they're home.
Thank you, caller. Talking about rape. I have a friend. His wife sent him a bill for $10,000. For $10,000. For how much months? For 3 months. For lessons. How many of you have children and send them for lessons within the 3 months of COVID in Trinidad and Tobago and have to pay $10,000? Some of the single fathers in Trinidad and Tobago, we have 15 minutes on the show. I want to hear what all you have to say. Did you all have to pay $10,000 for lessons in 3 months' time? Y'all pay 10,000? 2386716. Is that good? Is that bad? So I want to know. Saieed wants to know what kind of lessons came up to $10,000. Because I have a son who is also doing lessons for the 3 months of the lockdown. And it reached nowhere close. Nowhere close $10,000. So I want to shed some light on that. Caller, good night.
Good night, good night.
Go right ahead. Would you pay $10,000 for 3 months for lessons for your child?
No, I'll never do that.
Why not? Tell me.
You have too much money.
Thank you. So for the next 15 minutes in our show, I want to hear what you have to say. Because this is a serious matter. Paying $10,000 for 3 months, that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Because I'm going to tell you something. Every teacher, every single teacher that signed that document coming up to that $10,000, watch me, already going with me in court. Take what I'm telling on you. So the men of Trinidad and Tobago, the single fathers, feel free to call in. We don't have no single fathers watching. Will you pay $10,000 for your child in 3 months' time? Is that okay? Keep in mind, we're in a lockdown situation. 3 months, no work, no finance, no deliveries of groceries, no deliveries of school books, no deliveries of uniform. We're in a total 3 months lockdown because of COVID-19. And I got a bill for $10,000 for lessons for 3 months for my child. Caller, good night.
Good night.
Would you pay $10,000 in 3 months?
Said, you don't understand. You don't know if meal was provided, was 8 to 4. You understand?
If meal was provided?
Meal and it was from 8 to 4, whole day. See, you need to find out what I'm saying.
We're talking about lessons for a child.
From what time to what time?
I think it's 2 hours or 3 hours for the day.
Well, that'll be, nah, that can't happen. If it's like 8 to 4, it's something else.
No, we're not talking about school hours, normal school hours, you know. We're talking about 2 or 3 hours for the day. Would you pay $10,000 for the 3 months? I have a son doing lessons. And it cost about $1,600 for the month. So where did $10,000 come up from? And it's not like one teacher doing maths, one teacher doing English, one teacher doing science, one teacher doing art. That's how it went? Caller, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead there.
That amount is ridiculous. Need to be locked up.
Now, viewers, that was a woman. That was a woman. Just imagine. $10,000. Feel free, call in. We have 10 minutes left on the show. I want to hear, we're creating a discussion. We're creating a discussion. And keep in mind, if they don't pay the $10,000, they're going to court. Keep that in mind. If the father do not pay that $10,000, he is going to court. Caller, good night.
Yeah.
Go right ahead. You're live on Real Talk.
Said?
Yes.
Is mad people behind it? Is that my teachers or them mad teachers outside it? I feel it's mad teachers behind it. Them not teachers, them is crazy people.
Now, caller, I saw the receipts for $10,000.
Yeah, but I never hear somebody send $10,000 to send us in 3 months.
3 months, yes.
3 years to split in less than $10,000.
Thank you, caller. I think Trinidad and Tobago are better roses? Or you think it is a bed of roses? Caller, good night.
Hello, Saieed. Hi.
Go right ahead.
What I would like is to highlight for senior citizens is a mustard that when we vote coming from Stanton and the senior citizens going to mongoose and supposed to be overscared by the mongoose stuff. We would like it to highlight it firstly. And two, a magistrate could only work with what is in the book. The domestic violence and state crisis. Yes, they put law, but they did not change what in the book. The magistrate can't do against that.
I understand.
What the man did. But the magistrate has to work within the confines of the law that is in the book.
But the magistrate, caller, but the magistrate could also use their discretion. Thank you for calling in. They could also use their discretion. Now, if you're talking about the rape that occurred with the 14 years old, what the magistrate could do is that keep you incarcerated for 120 days and check, do a proper background check about this gentleman. Keep in mind, it's rape, you know. It's rape, you know. It's a 14 years old involved. But just to do a background check on the individual. Caller, good night.
Good night, Saeed.
$10,000. Would you pay that?
No, brother, that madness. They're robbing you.
Thank you, caller. I want to hear. Feel free to call in 238-6716. Would you pay $10,000 in lessons for 3 months' time? Keep in mind that 3 months was COVID-19 in Trinidad and Tobago. 90% of Trinidad and Tobago citizens were on a stay-at-home policy. So how the hell we could pay $10,000 for 3 months for lessons? Where the money coming from? Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead, you're live on Real Talk.
Mr. Saieed Ali.
Yes.
Mr. Saeed, good evening.
Good evening.
My principal was a very smart principal. Said to his teachers, the subject that you did best at training college, list that for me, please. And he passed a list around, and every one of his teachers put their pet subject or best subject on a sheet of paper. And he did that, and he said, give me, all of you, give me 1 day, because the staff was about 28. So this is what he did. And paying $10,000, that's ridiculous.
Thank you, caller. Thank you. We couldn't get money to buy food because we had to stay home for 3 months. We couldn't get money to pay bills because we could not go to work. Food was scarce on the table. You had to economize on the little you had. But you got a bill from your other half for $10,000. Would you pay it? Or would you go to court with the matter and ask every teacher that signed to come to court to be a witness that, yes, this is the figure? Caller, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead. You're live on Real Talk.
Good show you're having, man.
Thank you. But would you pay $10,000 for lessons for your children in 3 months?
Well, I would not pay $10,000, but I would not send my children for lessons for 3 months in COVID time.
Thank you very much, caller. Well said. Well said. So how many of you now are willing to go to court now for these teachers or individuals who signed that document stating that, yes, it came up to $10,000? How many of you are willing to go to court to verify what you did? Caller, good night.
Yes, good night.
Go right ahead. You're live on Real Talk.
Yes, Mr. Saeed.
You there? Next call. Let me tell you what I would have do. I was not paying 1 cent. Not 1 single cent of 10,000. Me and all those people, every single one of them who signed that receipt, I was carrying every one of all in court. Every single one of them was going in court. And show me how lessons could come up to $10,000 for 3 months. That is what I, Saieed, would have done. Show me proof. Show me what you did. Show me what subject you did and the time frame of it. And I was carrying you to court. And I was carrying the mother to court. I was carrying everybody in the courthouse because I ain't paying $10,000. You know why? There was a stay-at-home policy in effect from the health minister in Trinidad and Tobago. And teachers knew that. Parents knew that. But you want to send me a bill for $10,000 for 3 months. I was carrying you to court. Take what I'm telling you. Take what I'm telling you. So viewers, I just want to give you a little reminder that we have the fundraising for the Rape Crisis Center in Trinidad and Tobago. Please make a contribution of $1,500. We need 7,000 people to contribute $1,500 in order to raise $10 million to build the Rape Crisis Center for Trinidad and Tobago. Now, this center will not be an ordinary center. This is the only center that Trinidad and Tobago will have where a rape victim can come in. You could come in and spend a week, or 2 weeks, or 3 weeks. So, and we would help you recuperate yourself from the incident and the ordeal that took place with you. So viewers, I'm asking of you, please feel free to contribute. Now this is something, it mightn't benefit you, but it will benefit a rape victim in Trinidad and Tobago. So plant a seed. Plant a seed into your children's future. I would say it like that. Because today, tomorrow, an incident like this happened, there is a place for them. There is a place for them. So plant that seed on behalf of your children. Plant it on behalf of your wife, or on behalf of your daughter, or your son. So in case an incident like this should happen, you know that Saieed have a place well put away for an incident like this. So viewers, we are out of time for tonight, but nevertheless, our rerun of this program is at 11 a.m. tomorrow, and we will be with you right back here tomorrow night for another episode of Real Talk with Saieed Ali on Synergy TV from 7 to 8 p.m. Viewers, be safe, enjoy the night. Until we meet again, good night.